So collaborations, beer collabs, or even just our stout with a local coffee place, just collabs you've done. Just a couple. Like who would you kind of promote?
Well,
Go for it, man.
oh, yeah.
You're the brewer.
Maybe. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to All Beer Inside. I'm your not so humble host, Carp, and today we are in Sherbrooke, Quebec, and joining me today is Louis-Philippe and Marc-Olivier from Refuge des Brasseurs. If you translate it, Brewers Refuge.
Yeah,
Hi, guys.
Thanks a lot for taking time in your schedule to speak with us about your brewery. You're our first Sherbrooke brewery that we're interviewing, so we're very happy that we're getting to speak to you about your delicious looking beers and your wonderful location and everything that brought it all together.
Thanks to you, man.
So you brought me out some good looking beers here to try. What am I starting with here?
We should be starting with Arbuste,
Okay.
which is a raspberry white beer. It's perfect for summer. It used to be one of our seasonal beer.
Okay.
We brewed it like after 2 years maybe, and it was so popular that we kept it as a regular now because even during the winter, it's one of our best-selling
Easy
beer.
to drink.
Awesome.
Really good.
As we do, a toast.
Roast.
Beautiful nose. Oh, so light.
Yeah.
And the raspberry isn't like a punch. It's nice and balanced. Wow. Yeah, for me, for myself, this is something on your terrace.
Yeah.
I'm having a few of these if I don't have to drive anywhere. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4%, perfect.
Yeah.
For
Oh,
the summer.
that's fantastic beer. So, as brothers, what's the beer story? What obviously something that already brought you together as family, but why a brewery? What made you decide it's time?
I can tell the story.
Yeah.
Yes, we're brothers, but we are also like best friends. We never get in shocks together. It's really nice together. And we are studying at University of Sherbrooke back in the days. He was electrical engineering, and me it was mechanical. The first plan was to create our business, but in engineering. But one day, we decide to be drunk, but with wine. So we go to Costco to buy a big quantity of wine, but we don't read the label, so we just buy it for it was 60 liters for $60. Like it was impossible for us to, nice big deal, so just buy it. We go back at our apartment and we open the box and it was a kit to do wine, to produce some wine. So that night we didn't drink any wine, but we have the kit. So man, let's do it, why not? We produce the wine and it's like, oh, that's really nice. So can we do other things with that kit? And Louis-Philippe goes on to Google and he finds out that we can do beer with that kit. So we begin to produce beer at our apartment, and we really have really fun. We develop a passion for it. So why not begin a microbrewery together? That's our big story, but it's really a mistake.
That was the start.
It was really a mistake, but we really enjoy it and develop a passion for it. And we say, let's go, just do it.
Such an interesting mistake to make. It's like, super cheap booze. Hold on, wait, now I got to make it myself. Oh, wait, we can do more stuff. And then, obviously, coming from engineering backgrounds, from the sound of it, it's you have to engineer everything that's come along. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it helped us a lot for all the administration that you have, the project management, everything. But we didn't do much engineering. Probably talking.
Yeah. Because I understand Sherbrooke now has a brewery program. Is that right?
Yeah, it's kind of on the beginning.
Okay.
It's more at Bishop's University, which is in Sherbrooke too. They have a micro program, I think, or no, it's a full program. But yeah, it's in development, so it's really interesting.
Yeah. Because just before the pandemic, before the show really came up and growing, we were at the ETS in Montreal, and they were having the university brewing competition.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why, and we saw Sherbrooke there, so we thought, it's either Sherbrooke or it's clearly in Sherbrooke that's happening. We just didn't know if it was Université de Sherbrooke or Bishops.
Oh yeah, they're at the University of Sherbrooke.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
It's more like a parascolar activity, Sherbrooke. It's not like a program itself. So
Okay.
It's more on the side.
That's very cool. I like that. And I mean, I know with Ontario, there's Niagara School of Brewing, and then I think it's George Brown College also has a brewing course. So the more each town could kind of get a brewing program going, it would be great. And I think. And I know most of them go to Collectif in Ensemble in Boucherville to get like kind of their stage. So it's super cool. And obviously brewing is, thankfully, we got to drink good beer during the pandemic, because if I had to drink Molson and Bud, I would have lost my mind.
For 2 years.
Yeah.
That's too much, Endo.
Hey, 2 weeks is even a struggle for me sometimes when I'm out with friends and it's like, oh, let's go watch a baseball game. I'm like, ugh, but it's only macro, so.
Yeah.
Now, Refuge des Brasseurs, what made you decide that and not, Sherbrooke Brewing or anything like that?
Well, like my brother said, we used to be at university, and there were like nothing for students around here. We had to go to downtown to have a brewery or to have a cafe somewhere, like to escape from school. So we thought, hey, we need something like to hide from school and all the stuff. So we call that like the refuge, just to hide. And Brasseurs was because one of our initial mission was to accept or bring some other brewer from elsewhere, which we did and we're still doing. We're brewing for some other microbrewery. So it was like a mix for students and like developing beer. So that was like the beginning part.
I like that. And sharing love is the most important part. Is you're clearly local, and that's very important. Is when I saw you guys online to contact you for the interview, it's like you and some other friends in the area who you'll mention later, but it was, okay, cool, like I like these guys, and thankfully you were the first ones to reach back out to me and say, yeah, let's do this, and then it's like, oh no, we're gonna have to delay a couple of weeks, but we figured it out and we finally got this going, so it's awesome.
We're used to that.
Yeah. It's been a while, 2 years and change for us that, the day of this recording was pretty much the year that everything shut down 2 years ago. But thankfully, guys like you and other breweries have survived, and even breweries have opened during the pandemic.
Yeah,
Just
impressive.
It's wild. It blows my mind that how many have opened.
Yeah, it's really impressive. But we have really good clients that support us even in the downtimes. Yeah. So it's really nice to have them.
Uh,
What's beer number 2 I'm doing here?
Explain it. You're
yeah, good. It's the Shernobyl, which is a nice trick name. It's a New England IPA with Citra, Motueka, and the last one is which one? Simcoe.
Okay.
So yeah, we wanted like a good citrus punch and. It's a full mouth beer, but we didn't do it like over the top. It's still drinkable, and you don't. You can drink a lot of pints of them. Yeah. It's not like okay, only one glass. You can drink a lot, have a lot of flavor, but not too much mouthfeel. So it's
as long as it's not that like crazy hot bomb.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Awesome.
Oh yeah.
A toast.
Toast.
Oh, beautifully balanced. Yeah, no, it's not like the hot punch to the face. Like, a Vermont, it's Alchemist is like, boom, here's hops. This is nice and balanced. Now, I do personally enjoy the hot bombs once in a while, but it's not a consistent thing. And like you said, you want it more drinkable, which this clearly is. So
we're close to the University of Sherbrooke, so a lot of young people come here. It's we're the transition between the macros and micros brewery. So we love to make some beers that are balanced, not too punchy, that someone wants to try micros and he tastes it and says, oh, it's too intense for me. So we prefer to do some balanced beers to introduce people to microbreweries.
Yeah, that's a question I like to ask is now, Sherbrooke is kind of a mix of university and Sherbrooke is one of the older Quebec towns. Yeah. Outside of, I think, Quebec City and Montreal, Sherbrooke's probably number 3. You have these old school, like, let's say, a guy named Jean across the street, he's like, oh no, just Bud. You're like, no, try this. What are those gateway beers, as I like to call them, to get somebody into craft?
It's funny because we thought at first that, we will sell them like our session blonde ale, but know what made them do the transition, like our father-in-law was our American IPA.
Wow.
The bunker. Yeah, like it's our best-selling beer. Like every month, it's number one, and we're like, okay, now we thought it would be our blonde beer, but no, people like drink the IPA, and they're like, wow, it's nice. It's actually different, because I think that's the problem when people drink blonde beer, they want to drink a Budweiser or Molson. So it tastes too much, but not enough to swap between both. So. That was like our biggest surprise, I would say.
Besides the pandemic, kind of some roadblocks and difficulties you had even from finding a location, having the city accept you. Now Sherbrooke, I know one of the first ever craft breweries in Quebec is in Sherbrooke.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing the town was like, yes, more, like bring in more money for the town.
Yeah. The Sherbrooke was not the problem. I think the biggest problem is we were really young when we decided to open a microbrewery. So when it's more financial, when we go see the bank, we are really prepared. But they saw us, they say, you're like 23 years old, what are you doing? You're going to be a big party bar? No, it's a microbrewery, it's really serious. We just want to produce our products, we're really passionate of what we do. Mm-hmm. It was really hard to have some financial support at the beginning. I think it's our biggest problem at the beginning.
Yeah, and we were before the microbrewery, it was a club here.
Okay.
And near the university, you 1+1. So it was a big trouble for the city.
Okay.
So like they wanted to shut down that place, and we were like, oh yeah, okay, we want to change like everything around it. They were like not sure about it, but. No, I think they're really happy because it really did a big difference for the neighborhood. So that was like the hardest part, like to prove that we're not just a youngster who wants to party.
Hey, you're not going to have a bunch of 18, 19-year-olds just vomiting outside for like the end of the night. Especially, people aren't getting drunk on $8 beers. It's not happening. And it's the same thing, I can't imagine all the students come here and they're like, oh no, I can't afford a $7 pint. I'm going to have to try and now I saw your 4-packs are $16, which is great. For a student. That's pretty cheap. So that's amazing. It's not easy. Personally, if you're going for craft beer, you're going for flavor, you're not going to get drunk unless you're doing double IPAs and you don't realize they're double IPAs and then you're feeling good at the end of the night. So.
Exactly.
It's very difficult to really get drunk on craft beer because it's very expensive. Like even I make a good salary, it's expensive for me to get drunk. So
like you take a nice beer.
It's quality over quantity.
Some very unique names and labeling. Who came up with the names and labeling? Is it a team thing? Is it just you're together and like you said, Bunker and I saw Alcatraz. What kind of made you decide those names?
There's a background with those names. Most of them. Comes from Refuge.
Okay.
Like you can all take the name and make a link with the Refuge. Like Bunker, it's some Refuge. So we always try to do like a mix between the beer and the type of beer and a place you can hide or something like that. So that's a bit hard, but we're running out of name right now. But first was we have a lot of them and it's easy. But that was like the base for us, and now for the design. We were very poor, so it was our friend at the university. The first one was a French guy, one of my friends. He made a few logos at first, like for the sarcophage or bunker. Then we have some employees that are really good at designing too, so they do some logo, and then I put them on the can. I do the design of the can, in fact. But no, we have evolved. I'm trying to do something more better. Like this one or the new one, it's more epurate. And you see we're still improving. We're not having a great budget on that, so that's always the problem with craft or smart craft. We have to compromise. But our initial goal wasn't to go big on the market. It was to stay local, stay near the brewery. So that's why we kept that in the
And the kind of farmhouse logo, what made you guys decide that? And not, like, it's a refuge, so why not a big bunker type of thing? Like, why the farmhouse over any other ideas?
If you like, you look at the basement, not the basement, but the building, it's really similar.
Okay.
And farmhouse, we are from La Campagne, so, and we have a lot of animals, and it's ours, like refugees for us. So we want to represent that on our logo, that we are already like feeling good when we are like in woods, feeling great. So I think it's.
Yeah, our parents have a barn and how do we call it? Cabane à sucre, maple. Sugar shack.
Yeah.
So that's in our blood, and we kept it like for our beers, which is like the next beer is maple syrup, strong Scotch ale. So that's a nice transition.
No, I think that might be one of the best transitions we've ever had on the show. Cabane à sucre, it's the season when we're doing this interview, is everybody's doing tir à sucre, everybody's doing the maple taffy right now. So at least most people in Quebec, Vermont, Ontario, Northern Ontario, and they're back too. So that's another thing, there is still a pandemic going on, but we're at the point where it's like, we can do stuff again. And that's the important part. So awesome. So maple beer?
Yeah, exactly. Which we use our own maple, well, our parents' maple. And it's a big difference. Like, it don't taste like the cheap syrup or all. This one is pretty fresh though. We had an event a few weeks ago, which we kept a few kegs from 3 years ago. And this beer is amazing 3 years later, but it's still pretty good when it's fresh. Full mouth with a nice caramel.
Yeah.
But still pretty balanced when you drink it. It's dangerous.
It's beautiful nose. Toast. See, it's not too sweet. It's sometimes when I'm expecting a maple beer, I'm expecting too sweet.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I had a cinnamon beer from the U.S. and it was like drinking the cinnamon challenge. I'm like, oh God, this is one of the worst beers I've ever had. This is like, it's not overpowering maple. It's nicely balanced. It's not sweet where I'm just like, it's too sweet. It's not diabetes in a glass. It's nice and balanced.
We still put the maple syrup during the fermentation, so there's not much sugar left, so it's only the flavor. Yes.
So you mentioned you started developing craft beer through a kit. What was that first homebrew beer, and then what was the first beer that came out at Refuge?
Our first homebrew beer, I think it was an honey blonde beer. Okay. Yeah, there was honey in it. Yeah.
I think so.
Because I don't know if it's the case for everybody, but for us, it's like go big or go home at the first strike. But that was a mistake. But it wasn't that bad. Like, we had a lot of batches after that were really like, but the first one was okay.
Yeah.
Because all the stuff is new, so it's clean. After that, you realize that you have to do a lot more.
That's going to be my downfall of if I ever homebrew, is I know I'm just a little bit of sanitizer, not enough. I'm going to ruin 6 gallons of beer, and then I'm just going to be like, forget this, I'm going to sell everything now, just the frustration level. So, it's just the science of craft beer. And as you mentioned, you're both coming from an engineering background, so it's science. Engineering is science, and it's science and art in a glass. And once again, I'm supporting a local company.
Yeah, sure, because it's easy to make beer, but it's really difficult to make good beer, to produce good beers, and it's a big science. Louis-Philippe is a brewer, and I'm more for like accounting and stuff. But Louis-Philippe studies a lot, everything on the internet. Reads a lot of books just to understand all the little particularities of each beer, each aspect, the water, the hops, the grain, the malt. Everything is so important in a beer to produce one good beer. And to do that, it needs a lot of passion. Patience.
Passion, yeah.
Being passionate.
Yeah, well, it's really interesting at the same time, and it's in development at the moment, so you don't have that much information, but it's coming out, and you a nice book. It's perfectly what I needed, and you upgrade.
So collaborations, beer collabs, or even just our stout with a local coffee place, just collabs you've done. Just a couple. Like who would you kind of promote?
Well,
Go for it, man.
okay.
You're the brewer.
Maybe. Yeah. Well, we did a few collaboration with students. We had it was my mentor, in fact.
Okay.
When I started brewing, I was like, okay, it's crap. How do I improve? And do you take that measurement? And well, do that. And then after a few months or a year, I started my own brewery, and I was like, okay, which beer do you want to brew here? And he was like, okay, let's brew that beer. It was a smash, and we did that beer with, it was Japanese hop, Sorachi Ace.
Okay.
So smash with that hop. It was really interesting, and we're doing it again for him. But it was our first collaboration, and I was happy to do it with my mentor, in fact.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, and the guy is about my age, so it's not like a 55-year-old.
Yeah. Yeah, that's always weird when you're like, oh man, that actor is so awesome. He's younger than me.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe he's younger than me. Yeah, and then we had a few other people, like local companies or some people at university. But lately we started a brewing for Ectoplast, which is one of our employee. Well, he's not with us anymore, but he's a really passionate guy. He loves microbrewery. He's still working in it, but he never had all the time or the money to start a brewery. Yeah. So now we're brewing a few of his beer here, and he's really happy about it, and we're happy to help him too with that. So it's nice to do that. It's still with our mission when we started.
Yeah.
But now, which other breweries would you like
who would you love to brew a beer with? Either hype breweries or old school breweries or anything in between. Who would you love to? Yeah. Just two or three. You don't have to go into I want to brew with everybody in Vermont.
I get one Bucket Bière just changed owners, and they're guys from University of Sherbrooke, and they just reopened, and they opened in the pandemic, so it's really hard just to have a brewery right now in the pandemic is really hard, and they open it in the brewery in the pandemic. So I would really like to do a collaboration with them. They are like us who just studied at University of Sherbrooke. Just really nice to be a Sherby power. Let's go, guys! Do beer together. I would really like to do some collaboration with them. They are nice guys, and
to be honest, when we started microbrewery, I wanted to do collaborations with every breweries around. Around us in Sherbrooke. I was like, why aren't they getting along and doing all collaboration? I want to do that. And now that I'm owning one, and we didn't even do one yet, so I can now understand. It's time, and you have to contact them. So I think that's why they are our main influence. When we started at university, we had those breweries. So I was like, I really love those guys. Want to be like them, and now we're there. So I think we should do something.
I mean, speaking of that, I like to ask this question is, myself, I come in from Montreal, I drink some beers here, friends in the area to definitely check out.
We are really proud of our microbreweries we have in Sherbrooke. We have Ciboire, who is a great microbrewery. They were studying at the University of Sherbrooke too. There's Bishop, and near Bishop, there's the Lions Pub, which is the first one in Quebec. Nice to try. Bucket Bière, really nice brewery. We have Marc-Oliver too. It's we are really chanceux.
Lucky. It sounds like if I were to bring a bike, I could do a bunch. If I wanted to kind of do a big bike ride to Sherbrooke in the area.
Or you can do all of these.
Yeah. And it's a lot safer to bike while you're drinking than drive. And we say never drink and drive. No.
Exactly.
So.
And with summer coming, it's perfect.
Yeah, and you got some lakes nearby. Like myself, I kayak, so that'd be great. Is go a little kayak trip and then hit a couple breweries and head back to Montreal at some point. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can use your kayak to go everywhere.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, what's this last beer we're going to be trying here?
Yeah, sure.
It's the Alcatraz, which is this one. It's one of our first seasonal beer too. And we just made it for like the third time this year because we love it so much. It's really typical, really fruity, well balanced, but still you have a nice bitterness in it. So it's not too easy to drink, but at the same time it's beautiful. Like we love it. The malt shines and it's
awesome.
It's a
it's
West
old
Coast
school.
IPA.
Okay, a toast. I'm a little full. Ooh, maltiness is nice and clean. And food as well, food and beer pairing. Do you guys have anything? Do you make suggestions when somebody orders, let's say, the tacos? Oh no, let's do this instead. Whatever your food and beer pairing, do you have that, or is that a plan in the future?
I think it's more a plan for the future because all the food we do, we think about the beer. For our poutine, it's really popular in Quebec. Our sauce is made with beer.
Yes.
So it's really important for us to put beer in everything we can. So like our sauce for our burgers, we have beer in our barbecue sauce. Really important for us. Some farmers come take our stuff from our brewing stuff. They are feeding their yak. It's an animal, I think Chinese animal. Yeah. And once in a while we have yak burgers.
Nice.
With that farm, so it's really cool to have it. So, but yeah, for the pairings with the beer, it's more coming in the. I think it's what next is gonna be pairings with.
We don't write it on the menu. Of course, we have some suggestions for for the customers, but like for the poutine, it's the sarcophage we use. So. It's like a go-to. Okay, try the sarcophage with it, but it's not like obvious for everybody. So that's a next thing to do indeed.
Yeah, that's what I'm enjoying is more breweries that have food are becoming like the gastro experience, like the gastro pub experience is. I'm gonna come here. Oh, if you're gonna have the German pretzel, then have the Hefeweizen that we make. Things like that, and that's always something that helps me because I'm already having trouble enough deciding what I want to eat and what I want to drink. If you can make my brain not think as much, that's even better. So, Now, clearly you're very busy and everything's reopening in Quebec, very slowly, but is reopening. Once there's times to take a vacation, but solely based on beer, even if it's staying in Quebec and I've never really done the canton to I want to go to Japan because I've never tried those. Like, what's that beer vacation that you've never done that you want to do?
For me, I think I went to Germany 2 years ago with my girlfriend, and it was not oriented for beers. Okay. And I think that's
which is a mistake.
For me. A mistake. My girlfriend was really happy. It's okay, but I will really appreciate to go back there with like my brother or the third co-proprietor with us, just to do a beer trip. Yeah. Like living the Oktoberfest, living more the history of beer of Germany is really great. Just to have to walk with beer inside your hand I just like the feeling. We don't have the right to do here. But Germany for me to just go back there but to do it as a beer trip. Yeah.
Louis-Philippe, same thing?
Well, I would love that too, but I have to be different. So well, except Quebec, which is there's a lot of destinations, but I didn't even do a Gaspésie yet, which is amazing, and I want to do. And I did Vermont, New Hampshire, I love those, but I want to do the West Coast. I never I've been there, but I drank a lot of their beer. It's amazing. That's like my prime destination for now, like the mountains and all the breweries, the ocean. So that's for me like a must do.
And start in Vancouver, make your way down.
Yeah, exactly.
So as you mentioned during our conversation, there's a third partner.
Yeah.
So who is that third partner?
Our third partner is our friend a little time ago. He's Myriam. She's a girl, and she's one of the only one who is brewing the beer also. She's brewing the beer.
Owner and brewer at the same time.
At the same time.
Okay.
So in Quebec, I think so. She's really nice person. And Louis-Philippe, can you talk about your partnership when you do the beer?
Yeah, sure.
Like, do you both have different recipes? You kind of collaborate. Like, how does that work as two brewers?
Yeah, well, I think it's really important to be to have two visions, and I'm lucky because she's a girl, so it's different. Like she brings another aspect to the brewery. So most of the time we do it together.
Okay.
It's rare that we come together and hey, check, I have this recipe, let's do this. Like we talk about it a lot. We're always working together, so it's pretty easy like to get along. And she's been a friend for like forever, so
That's awesome.
It's nice. And she, like I mentioned, she's really strong. It's good because we have to carry all the weight of the malt. So I couldn't do it alone.
Yeah. No, that's amazing to hear. And you know, we need more expansion in the brewing. As we mentioned, like beer is diversity. There needs to be more diversity. There has to be, you know, typically it's guys who look like us, white guys with beards who are in this industry, but there needs to be more women. We need more people of color. We need more LGBT in the brewing industry. It can't be as reclusive as it used to be.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I do see, you know, with Brave Noise and Black is Beautiful, is we're trying.
Yeah.
As white males, we're trying to do what we can. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Guys, fantastic talk. What's next for Refuge des Brasseurs?
Well, yeah, that's a good question because right now, like we during the pandemic, we started cans, and we evolved so much during the past few years, and we were asking that question, what's next? And we want like to grow more local. We're really pro local. Every beer has something around here, and we buy food from around. So we want to continue that, improve like our influence. But I think that's like the future to improve that. We don't want to go big and have a big brewery and to be everywhere in the world. That I think that's like over for for the years. So yeah, that's the big part, like to go really green at the same time, which we already are because we have almost no dishes.
Waste?
No waste.
Yeah.
We're only doing compost.
Yeah.
So it's really great, and I think that we should continue on that avenue.
It's maybe slap some solar panels up top, a little wind.
Yeah, exactly.
You never know. Yeah,
that's our plan, like to go really like clean energy and how.
Yeah, that's what I love to hear about the brewing industry, is the kind of sustainability that you guys try and have with other industries at the same time. So, and that's super important. You know, we want this to stay for, obviously, I have no children, but if you guys have kids in the future, you want your kids to be able to live in a world that's not on fire. So,
exactly.
So, you know, and I want to be drinking craft beer until my 80s. I mean, my father is 78 and he's drinking craft beer.
Nice.
So it's just getting, you know, and brewing or craft in general is trying to remain sustainable to the environment. So that's the most important part, is let's keep this planet going for at least a few more thousand years.
Yeah.
So,
At least, yeah.
yeah. Awesome. Guys, fantastic talk. I really appreciate you taking time out of your clearly busy schedule to speak with us about your brewery and your story. Let people know where they can find you.
Yeah, sure. Cheers, everybody. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram. You can visit our website, which is refugedesbrasseurs.com. So see you in Sherbrooke anytime. Santé.
Come drink us.
Awesome, guys. So everything's going to be in the show notes. Just click on the links at the bottom of the episode description. As for us, allbeerinside.com is the website, at allbeerinside on all social media. And as they say at the end of all episodes, drink craft, not crap.